What's going on, guys? Bluntguts here. This is a Watch Your Realms video. We're going to be talking about the Hellfire Codex today. I put out a few videos today. This one is going to be on gearing and the best way to do it. So if you are making this last minute push, hopefully these tips do help you maybe jump up your rank, maybe one, maybe two, maybe you can get triple S. Knock me out of number 71. That would be great. So let's take a look at my team. As you can see, it is mostly epics. This is a very accessible team. With the exception of Brokir, I was able to pop in Livian instead of Brokir, and I was able to get SS+. I think that if I really was a masochist and I wanted to just frustrate myself to no end, I probably could have gotten triple S with that team as well. But after a while, I just get tired of these Codex stages. I got to say, as much as I like that they try to put something in that doesn't cost energy, not a big fan of the Codex in general. I think a lot of it is just repetitive. You're doing the same thing over and over again. It's a lot of auto fights where you just you run it until the last little bit, and then you have to try to finagle some extra points out of the last 30 seconds of the stage or so. It's not really my cup of tea. I love the rewards. The rewards are phenomenal, and I do like the competitive aspect of it. That is fun, but I just don't have the energy to really put into a lot of these. So I was excited to be able to get triple S on this. Let me share some of the gearing tips that I picked up. Let's take a look at Isolde. As you can see, in fact, let's take a look. The BP on this, 322k, is not that much. So we've got 6 heroes in here. That means that we are talking about an average of like a little over 50k per hero. So the gear, my tank gear is bad. It's really bad. I've got about 2 good sets of tank gear. Beyond that, it's not good. It's not anything to write home about. So let's talk about what you should be looking for as far as stats, what sets would be ideal, and then really what you should be doing as far as what I've done, and most of my heroes are in broken sets. I don't have enough Guardian gear for everybody. Now, Isolde, she was dying a lot, so I put her in some Guardian gear. This is the only full set of Guardian gear that I have on my account. I've got a couple of other pieces, but I can't make another one that has the appropriate stats to make me want to actually use it on another hero. So let's see Isolde's total stats here. She's got a little less than 90k HP. She's got a little over 5k defense. And her attack speed is nothing to write home about. She's got 177. I didn't concentrate on that. Rage regen, I don't think she has 10.5%. So in order of priority, what you should be looking for as far as stats are concerned, you want to be maximizing your HP more than anything else. That is going to give you the biggest boosts here, particularly if you are using a lot of shield camps, because the shields are almost always based on the hero's max HP. And that goes doubly if you're using a Northern Lord, which you should be if you have one. If you have Isolde, or if you have King Hars. King Hars is the best hero in the game as far as it's concerned. You can go over to the rankings, look at the leaderboard. The top 100 is almost exclusively populated by King Hars teams. My team is one of the few that's not, but he is the best hero in the game for this game mode, at least as far as the way that he boosts the entire team. I'd say individually, you're probably looking at, what's her name, Aveline, the horse lady. She is this girl right here. She is has the highest block in the game, the highest base block in the game anyway. And you add it all on as well, she's blocking 5 units, which is incredible. So here's what you're going to be looking for. You want HP bonus on all of your right side pieces. And I would encourage you to break sets for it. If you don't have 3 HP percent pieces that you can put on the right side in, say, Guardian, you're more than likely going to be better off with triple HP percent in broken sets than you are with, say, 2 HP percent, 1 defense percent in Guardian. I could have made a set of Guardian where I had 2 HP percent, 1 defense percent. I tried it. It didn't work as well. So I would advise you not to do that. You want to maximize your HP as much as possible. So ideally, the sets that you're looking, or the stats you're looking for on these pieces of gear, you're going to want HP bonus, like I said, on all the right side pieces. And then as far as the substats are concerned, you want flat HP. That's going to boost the HP. You can't get HP bonus on an HP bonus main stat. So you can't get the main stat as a substat on any piece of gear in the game. That is true everywhere. So HP, flat HP on it. Defense bonus is going to be your next priority. Flat defense is going to be after that. And then you can start looking at things like rage regen and attack speed, depending on your hero. So, like, for example, I didn't use the Regulus, but he's a good example. So we're going to take a look at him real quick. He's somebody that you want to put attack speed on. So if you look at his A1 here deals damage to one enemy, increases defense by 5% for every one enemy block, and restores 6 extra rage for every 4 basic attack launch. So the more speed you give him, the faster he's going to generate rage, the more he's going to be able to use his ultimate. Now, unfortunately, Regulus, unless you have him A5, he's not that great here. If you have him A5, he's probably a beast. The awakening on him at A5 is that whenever he triggers his ultimate, he restores HP to full. So he can heal himself in that case. Without it, he doesn't have any healing, so I wouldn't use him unless you have him A5. He's not geared. This is gear that I swapped on from somebody else when I tried to gear one of the heroes that I did use. But we can look at Brokir here. See, Brokir is a prime example. I've got him in a broken set on the right side. So HP bonus, defense bonus, got some attack speed, got some rage regen. In fact, see, this isn't even that great a piece. I would prefer, rather than attack speed and rage regen, I would much prefer to have defense bonus and flat defense. But I am stretched thin because, like I said, I've only got 2 sets of defender gear because this is the first time in the game that we've had to bring more than like 2, maybe 3. You could have. I don't know if there's any place you need 3, but I guess there's places you could have brought 3. But at most, you would have geared 3 defenders at a single time. So you probably don't have a lot of it either. I haven't focused all that much on farming it. This Codex is not going to change my farming strategy. I'll continue accumulating it. You know, I roll it up when I get good statted pieces. But anyway, here we go. Again, HP bonus, but we got flat HP, defense bonus, and attack speed on that. Those are 3 good stats. Attack bonus we don't care about. HP bonus, defense bonus, attack speed. So you can see this piece doesn't even have an epic roll on it. The main stat is by far the most important thing. Anything you can get from the substats is gravy. And to that end, if you have the option, try to use the gold sets. So I'm talking about Invigoration. We can just pull it up right now. So as far as the gold sets in here, we're talking about Infernal Roar, Soulbound Arcana, Invigoration, or Ageless Wrath. Those all have inherently higher main stats. So in this case, like right here, 66% HP bonus. On a silver set, like Insight, 60%. So you're going to get a 6% increase to the main set, to HP in this case, which is what you should be using. If you use one of the gold sets, even if it's offset, you're still getting that 6% increase there. So if you use 3 main set, or 3 gold, sorry, I'm getting my tongue's getting twisted here. If you use 3 gold pieces instead of 3 silver pieces on the right side, you're going to get an extra 18% HP bonus, which is huge. And especially if you're not getting a set bonus, it basically is a set bonus at that point because, I mean, look at the set bonus for Mortal Warrior is 25% HP, 10% defense. You're almost getting that 25% HP component there. It's about 3/4 of it, so it's not quite as good, but still, these are the little min-max things that you can do to try to optimize your run. So, like I said, HP percent bonus on the right side. If you can get some of those good substats, defense percent, flat defense, attack speed, and rage regen, stack those as much as you can, but the main thing is the HP percent. So, if you're looking at gear sets on here, on the right-hand side, I would say Invigoration is decent. Really, any of these gold sets, Invigoration is going to give you attack, so that's not really going to help you out. Ageless Wrath isn't going to help you out because you can't actually do damage yourself to the enemies in that game mode. All you're doing is trying to block, and then when you block, the Hellfire Emperor is going to do damage to the blocked units instead. Soulbound Arcana is good. Infernal Roar is good if you have HP percent main stack gear for that, which I would advise that you save for heroes like Gluttony and maybe future HP-based damage dealers. That would be good to save, but you want defensive pieces for this. So stack, stack, stack as much mitigation as you can. On the left side, there's really only 2 options. I'm sorry. You know what? I didn't talk about on the right side piece. I mentioned earlier, but Guardian is a really good set for this as well. If you've got a lot of Guardian gear, that is something that you would want to consider because Guardian gives you a flat 15% damage reduction, which is going to help you survive longer. So if you can get slightly worse stats by equipping a Guardian set, again, I wouldn't sacrifice it if you can't get HP percent main stat in all the right side pieces, but if you can sacrifice some overall HP percent, some overall max HP, and some defense and some flat defense in order to equip that Guardian set and get a flat 15% damage reduction. That may be worth it in some cases. I think especially if you are in a situation where, say you've got somebody that is dying a lot. For me, Aveline was dying quite a bit because she is taking the most damage because she's blocking more units than anybody else on the team. She was taking a lot. I put a Guardian set on her at one point. Isolde was dying a lot for me, so I put a Guardian set on her. I think the ones that died, or the squishiest of the tanks that I used were Livian and Baron. They, instead of putting increased mitigation on them, I moved them further back so that they weren't taking as many enemies at once, and they were tanking less frequently, so that did seem to help. But that's how I would look at it. As far as left side pieces, there are really only 2 gear set options, and I do think that if you can, you're better off. I mean, you can do the calculations. These are all just stat bonuses on the sets, right? So you can see, I'm getting, in this case, I'm getting 25% HP and 10% defense by equipping 2 of these pieces. If you can have a combination of offset pieces that's going to give you more than 25% HP and or more than 10% defense, then you could just use offset pieces. Really, at the end of the day, I wouldn't focus too much on sets in this. And really anywhere in the game, I feel like we've got this, everybody has this philosophy where you're trying to put sets together, but unless the gains that you're getting from the set bonus outweigh the flat the raw stats that you're getting from putting on your best possible gear, you're not helping yourself out. Damage dealing, there are some clear winners, but as far as tanking is concerned, the tanking gear in this game, the sets are just very limited, and there's only really one on the right side, Guardian, that really makes a whole lot of sense. The 2 on the left side are, like I said, this Immortal Warrior, which is going to have that higher, especially on the chest piece, higher main stat, 3960 HP versus, let's see, 3600. So you get another 10% main stat on that piece, just like on the right side. So that is something to keep in mind. However, you really want to be doing that calculation to make sure that you are, just by equipping the piece, you are getting more out of it than you would be getting by putting 2 offset pieces in there. So Immortal Warrior is good. As far as the other sets, the only other one that really makes sense is Life Force. Nobody has any of these blue sets. Nobody really has any of those in high enough levels for them to be relevant, but Life Force does give you 25% HP. Like I've said earlier, max HP is the most important thing in this codex, so if you, well, aside from block anyway, block is the most important thing. But as far as gearing is concerned, absent the artifact, HP percent is by far the best thing that you can do for your hero in this game. It's going to make him tankier, and there's a lot of things in the game like shields that synergize with that max HP, so that should be your goal. But Life Force is a good one. As far as stats are concerned, it's the same thing as on the right. You're going to want to maximize your mitigation as much as possible. So HP bonus is the most important thing. You want that on both of the pieces. You're not going to get flat HP on the chest because that is the same as the main stat, so you're not going to be able to get that. But ideally, you'd want defense bonus on there. This is a bad roll. Like I said a number of times, my gear isn't that great. I mean, we're looking at broke here. Let's look at some of the other ones that I used. I can show you just how junky a lot of this gear is. So, offset pieces here. I mean, these are good rolls on Baron. I had to put some better gear onto Baron in order to make sure that he didn't die. But like this piece, I ran out of Immortal Warrior gear. He didn't have another chest that would give me more stats. So I've only got the defense bonus on here. I have no HP bonus on this chest, and that's really bad. Now, granted, Baron, he still's got 90k HP. He's got 7.5k defense, so that's nice. But it's not ideal. I mean, ideally, I'd have all of them in Guardian gear, and I think that would probably help push me further. But maybe that's next time around. We'll see. I'm farming gear raid 2 right now. Maybe I'll get a bunch of Guardian gear, and it'll become more important later on. Right now, I think everybody is kind of in the same boat. They're scrambling to find the tankiest gear that they can put on their heroes. So, as far as the weapon's concerned, you don't care about attack. That's not going to be an issue here. So you want, at the very least, you want HP bonus on it. Preferably, you also want defense bonus, flat HP, and flat defense. You could also attack speed on a case-by-case basis. You can, like I was saying before, like Regulus gets that extra rage for attacking more often. That is something that you want to keep in mind, but it should be kind of secondary to the mitigation pieces. So the HP percent, HP, defense percent, defense, all those things are the main things that you want. If you do have I mean, this is a bad example because it's salvation, you wouldn't want to use this piece in particular, but if you had a weapon that had rage regen on it, that would be a pretty good thing. That would be something that you could definitely use. So that's something that I would keep in mind, but again, not a priority. Your main priority should be stacking as much mitigation as you possibly can on your heroes. So Yeah, that's my little gearing guide. I hope that it helps you guys. If you do enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. I hope that this helps you kind of push up another rank or two as you are progressing through Hellfire Emperor. We've got about 12 hours before everything resets at this point. So get your attempts in now while you still can. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a month until the Codex rolls around again. So anyway, guys, I've been Blunt Cuts. I appreciate you watching. Hope you all have a great weekend and good luck.